This segment is brought to you by the Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Welcome back. It's time for this week's Kansas Soybean Update.
This is the Kansas Soybean Update. It's brought to you by the Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers. Don Scott, Director of Sustainability with the National Biodiesel Board, joins us. And Don, March 18th was celebrated as National Biodiesel Day to highlight the benefits of biodiesel. But we've also seen that confirmed from U.S. government reports that came out this year.
USDA and Argonne National Laboratory, which works under the Department of Energy, worked together on a report to quantify the greenhouse gas emissions from biodiesel and how that reduces emissions compared to using petroleum diesel. So when we make biodiesel from soybean oil grown here in the U.S. and we use that to fuel our trucks and tractors instead of taking petroleum out of the ground, we can reduce greenhouse gas emissions by as much as 78%.
And that is the highest GHG reduction of any heavy-duty transportation fuel?
Yeah, if you look at other options there are for reducing emissions in transportation, especially heavy-duty transportation that really relies on diesel fuel, there's no other option that delivers that much greenhouse gas reduction, and certainly no other option that delivers it at such a low cost.
Don, this is all part of the continuing studies that the Argonne National Laboratory has done on biodiesel.
Something that they've been studying for almost 2 decades now. They continue to update the life cycle analysis to make sure that the data is accurate and so that it withstands any scrutiny that people have about what are the real benefits of biodiesel. So the fact that biodiesel reduces greenhouse gas emissions is not news, but what is news is that we have new data and we have more confidence in the results that we've experienced previously. One of the things that is new in this model is they are quantifying not only what happens when you make biodiesel in the U.S. and use that to displace diesel fuel, but what happens economically around the whole world. There is an economic benefit to farmers when you take that vegetable oil and turn it into a marketable product. So they quantified how will farmers all around the world react to these economic benefits. There are some increased emissions there related to those economic benefits. Biodiesel has been on the rise, but soybean oil production has also been on the rise because protein demand is growing. Soybeans happen to be the most efficient way to produce protein. You can't get all that protein without also producing a lot of oil. When we grow protein to feed the world, we get more oil than we can possibly eat or feed the livestock. So we need to find industrial uses for it. Soybean oil is made to make about a half of the biodiesel that's made in the U.S., and the other part of biodiesel is made from things like used cooking oil and animal fats. So we continue to diversify, but we owe it all to the farmers that really started this industry and the farmers that we rely on for the most significant portion of our feedstock.
That's Don Scott, Director of Sustainability with the National Biodiesel Board, as he joins us on the Kansas Soybean Update. It's brought to you by the Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers. Learn more at kansassoybeans.org. For Kansas Soybeans, I'm Greg Akagi.
Hope you enjoyed this latest edition of the Kansas Soybean Update. Stay with us after the break for more Farm Factor as Kyle Bauer reports from Commodity Classic in Anaheim, California.
What if U.S. soybean oil were an industry sensation? If end users started asking for it by name? That future is here, the time is now. To meet customer demands, the Soybean Checkoff is investing in varieties that produce oil with increased functionality. A message from the Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers.
What does a brighter, more sustainable future look like in our cities and towns, and how do we get there? When New York needed an alternative fuel source to reduce carbon emissions, the city found what it needed in biodiesel made from U.S. soybean oil.